we had this desire rumbling in our heart to go to places where the gospel wasn't very accessible, and so Bolivia became that mission field for us. But before we actually arrived there, we needed to learn Spanish. So we went to Costa Rica to language school, and in Costa Rica, we experienced what it feels like to be outsiders, to live outside our own context, to be foreigners in a different country, to not know the language, to not know how to buy groceries. And while we were there, we were befriended by this Costa Rican family. And it was through that experience that we were like, wow, I think this is how God wants us to treat people from other places in our own city. Mm-hmm. And so our eyes were really open to that, and that was the seed of the passion for Mission Adelante. So when we finished our 2 years in Bolivia, we came back to Kansas City, and we said, where do the immigrants live in our city? Mm-hmm. And so we moved to a neighborhood in Kansas City, Kansas, and we started English classes with our neighbors in our home and a kids ministry, and then Mission Adelante was born out of that passion.
What I love about that for all of us is that so many of the times the passion that God gives us, that as we identify that He uses that to reflect His love and His purpose and His mission out to the world. And you guys took some bold, hard, obedient steps in order to follow that passion, and out of it has grown the Adelante Thrift Store and Mission Adelante. And so talk a little bit about how we're going to get a chance to be a part of the thrift store next week through bringing in our donations that we're going to bring in. But that's only one small part of the transformative work that's happening in this community. Talk more about what God's been doing there.
Yeah, so the heart and the soul of Mission Adelante is serving and sharing life and sharing Jesus with people from all places. And so it's this disciple-making work that just started with an English class in our home and now includes kids ministries, ministries for youth, teaching English to adults, citizenship classes. All of this is very relational, connecting with people right where they are, and serving and sharing Jesus with folks. So that's a big, that's the heart of Mission Adelante, and it was about, we started in 2005, so 10 years later, we said, gosh, how else can we be a part of community transformation? And the thrift store was born out of that.
So the thrift store is kind of the front door for Mission Adelante, and it's actually helping provide some of the revenue that sustains the ministry that's happening, right?
Right, so the thrift store, starting in 2015, this is interesting Heartland history here too. So Heartland has been just partnering with us all along the way since the beginning of starting Mission Adelante. But one of our key moments was when we decided to launch this thrift store, and we needed stuff. We needed items to be able to sell, and we're getting ready for our grand opening, and we had a donation drive at Heartland. And you guys donated a semi-truck and a half of items for our thrift store. So it was huge.
I'm curious, are any of those items from that donation drive still on the shelves at Adelante Thrift?
Thankfully, no. Thankfully, no. Every time we have a drive at Heartland, and we do it with some other churches as well, we see just an immediate impact in terms of sales in the store. Yeah. And so, that's an exciting aspect of this. But the items that you guys are giving, we're employing about 13 people in the thrift store, members of our community. And then, we've also been part of transforming the shopping center where the thrift store is actually located. There were a lot of vacant spots there. Those spots are filling up now. So community development is happening. Mm-hmm. And the thrift store is now providing about 20% of the budget for Mission Adelante, which is just a huge victory.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So when you boil it down, it's sustainable community development, and that's what the thrift store is all about, and that's what you guys get to be a part of.